During your musical career, what has been the lowest point for you?
Probably having publishing stolen from me, having money from so-called road managers stolen, even sometimes, not agreeing with the record label because there was a situation where I had the opportunity to have Jam and Lewis produce my project. And the record label, they absolutely refused to let me do that.
Okay.
And they were sending me all these great songs, their manager was sending on this great music, and the guy that was head of A&R would not let me do it because he had another agenda.
And what was the other agenda?
The other agenda was to bring in whomever he wanted to bring in to produce my record. And so probably so he could get a kickback or something, I don't know. But that was devastating because it made me have to, restructure some things, and I felt like I could have had a lot more success with Jam and Lewis producing me.
When did you know?
I made it! Like, oh my God, this is it! I'm like an R&B star. I can hear my songs on the radio. Everybody knows it. When was that moment like?
Well, there was a couple of times. The first moment was when Dionne Warwick and Burt Bacharach called me.
Dionne Warwick
and Burt Bacharach.
You were with Dionne Warwick?
Yeah, I recorded a record. We have a record that we did called Finders of Lost Love. It was a theme song for a television show, ABC television show, and then we did the Carson show together. This and that.
Carson?
Yeah, Johnny Carson. We did that together.
He was on the Johnny Carson show?
Yeah, Tonight Show.
Okay, that was a huge show.
Yeah.
So you're backstage, get ready to come out with Dionne Warwick. Were you nervous?
Yeah. And listen, I'm always nervous before I go on stage.
Okay.
But that's a good thing. I try not to lose that because that's that nervous energy.
So that one of the moments was working with Dionne Warwick. Yeah, made it.
Yeah.
That's a huge name.
And then the other moment was when Aretha Franklin called me.
She called you on your phone?
Yeah.
And it was her on the other end?
In my apartment, I thought somebody was playing a joke.
And it's Aretha?
Yeah, this Riri.
So please put me, ring, 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 hello.
Yeah.
And you say?
Hi, Glenn, this is Aretha. I'm like, yeah, and Aretha has a very distinctive voice. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man, stop playing. And she called me and said that she was a fan and she wanted me to play Radio City and Caesars with her. And I also used to go to Detroit to do her birthday party.
So she's saying this, and what are you doing?
My heart is probably racing. I'm tripping out because I used to listen to her when I was a youngster,
Wow, Aretha
Franklin. And that's huge because she's one of my favorite singers of all time.
And then you performed and traveled with her.
Yeah.
Wow. You have a legacy and stories that will go on forever and ever, and you've got new music.
Yes.
You're touring all over the country, get ready to go to Europe.
Right.
I want to talk about the audiences in Europe, and I want to talk about your new music because you went in the studio and then did something fabulous again.
Yeah.
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 Yeah.